So Apple TV is premiering this new show this month called The Savant. And here is the tagline for the show. By day, Jody is your average suburban mom. By night, she's uncovering the darkest corners of the internet. And this is starring Jessica Chastain. Basically, people are saying that she is playing the ultimate Karen power fantasy where she's doom scrolling at night on 4chan and, Truth Social and Gab, and she's tracking down online extremist right-wing men, and she's going to discern which ones of them are going to turn their hate speech into hateful violence. So I want to show the trailer just to give you guys a sense for the message underneath this story.
Hey kids, come on.
What's she looking at? She's working.
She's working? I thought this was a no-work weekend, Mom.
It's gonna be a coordinated
She's
mass
staring at the
attack.
computer screen, but we don't know what's on the computer screen.
The hunt has begun.
You hit her what? Ooh. No.
What do you do in there all day? All night sometimes.
I track people who are planning attacks. My job is pretending to think like them to stop those people from doing really bad things.
FBI, on your knees!
That's why we call her the Savant.
I love the memes.
Snipers, bombings, ambushes. We're on the verge of serious violence. I've been watching him for a year and a half. He's recruiting for something. I don't know what it is, but it's massive.
This guy isn't just planning violence. He's out to make a statement.
What kind of a statement?
The kind that history refers to with a month and a date. Innocent Americans are going to die.
We need to infiltrate further.
I don't think you should keep pushing this.
Listen to me. They have photos of your family.
You think if you engage with terrible things, you're daring even worse things to happen.
Low bois. Low bois again. More low bois. It's really
What's low
ominous. The
okay.
blah, yeah, it makes you feel like you're really invested in the story. So Jody, the protagonist, is actually going undercover in online forums with angry right-wing men
On Discord.
on Discord,
Whoa.
4chan, and 4chain even. And she's gonna track down the frog accounts that are planning attacks on our democracy. This definitely, from my first impression, seems like a holdover from the late 2010s, maybe
Yeah.
the early 2020s, that they just had on the call sheet and had to put it out there because we're Apple TV Plus, who is even subscribed to our streaming platform anyway. Like, what are we supposed to do? So they put this out, and then immediately the memes began spreading with Jessica Chastain staring at the computer screen in the dark intently with her giant blue light glasses. They keep asking if I had breakfast yesterday. Show Bob's, send vegana? What does it all mean? And also, why is everyone talking about returning their shopping carts at the grocery store? And I felt attacked by that one, actually. One of the tweets said, I can't believe they made a movie about a Redditor who spends their entire time mass reporting shit posters while her kids beg to be taken care of. It's actually very true to life. It's literally that meme of like the Sims character on the computer while her baby is like on fire in the corner and she's like, not now, sweaty, I'm cyberbullying. But it's like, not now, sweaty, I'm tracking down online terror extremists. And I found out this is actually based on a true story, as so many Hollywood stories are. And I bet that they probably received funding or perks of some kind from the departments in the CIA and the FBI that basically do exchanges with Hollywood studios where if you write your show in accordance with what we want for the narrative, we'll give you access to military equipment or, you know, whatever consultant that you need for your script. That's just my theory. There's nothing to confirm that. But it's actually based on a true story, which was featured back in 2019 in an article for Cosmopolitan. And this journalist went undercover with the real Savant in real life on one of her missions. It says, is it possible to stop a mass shooting before it happens? You've never heard of her, but somewhere in America, a top secret investigator known as the Savant is infiltrating online hate groups to take down the most violent men in the country. Cosmo goes undercover as she races to get ahead of the next large-scale attack. And they go to her house, and she's just a seemingly normal woman who wears jeans and hoop earrings and has a dog and a family and a driveway. But she moonlights as a doom scroller on the darkest corners of social media. They actually mention one of the attacks that she foiled, and it's interesting. They failed to include this in the show. This was back in 2007 that she started her work. She went on MySpace and found an Islamic extremist named Michael Finton. This was obviously like way before mass adoption of smartphones and social media, that she was screenshotting all of this guy's posts as he went further and further in his rhetoric. And then eventually the feds got to him and entrapped him and basically told him, show up at this time and location, get in this van. It has over a ton of explosives outside of a government building in Illinois, and make this phone call and we'll detonate. And then, of course, they did the sting operation, and now he's in prison for the next, 30 years. But it's just interesting that, they didn't really address the fact that he was an Islamic terrorist, at least so it seems, in the show, and they said it in present day so that they could include the plot points about the alt-right, which was the focus of the Cosmo article. The Cosmo article glosses over the 2007 incident and then turns its attention to men on the alt-right. And they say she's totally undercover, but she even got like a personal thank you letter from former FBI director Robert Mueller. So the people who know who she is. She frequents forums and chat boards, engaging with evil right-wingers and determining if they're a serious threat. So I guess watch out in your Telegram group chats, because this
Savant might be.
She's also worked closely with the SPLC and the ADL and plenty of think tanks and NGOs, as well as the government.
Absolutely the bad guys.
And she says in the Cosmo piece, I think most people who know me in real life think I work for a think tank. So again, these people are crawling everywhere. I'm certain that the Savant, whoever she may be, is not the only one. There are informants everywhere, and she doesn't seem that remarkable to me, actually. And especially now that governments, especially in the EU, are implementing these plans for online safety in the name of protecting children, but in reality for the purposes of surveillance, they are existing out in the open. And that includes the censorship commissar for e-safety, Michelle Rowlands, in Australia. She was at a public hearing and complained that taxpayer money was being wasted on thousands of freedom of information requests for the information that they're compiling on private citizens in Australia for their social media activity. And she's calling them trolls. And saying, we're doing the good work that needs to be done, and we're warriors for democracy. This is essentially the person that they're portraying in this show, but it just comes off as incredibly tone deaf and not just out of touch, but out of time, as they say.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's definitely a holdover from the late 2010s when this was in vogue. You can tell that there's a lot of journos involved because this is how a lot of
Right.
journalists view themselves when they dox
do.
just like a random right-wing anon. They're like, like in
Right?
their head they prevent a terrorist attack. And also like the timing makes it even funnier because like the last two major, incidents in the United States was obviously a transgender person shooting up, whatever. And then you also have in Charlotte, a crazy
Right.
black guy, getting his stab on. So it's like, how is this still the threat on the tip of everyone's tongues? It's just so tone deaf from so many different directions.
Maybe the average subscriber to Apple TV Plus is the target audience for this.
I think Apple TV subscribers are it's just normal Americans, and it's like,
Well, it's more of like the highbrow stuff that they're doing over on Apple TV Plus.
oh yeah, I see
like,
what you're saying. Yeah,
like,
it's probably they probably have a higher concentration of like
Severance, for instance, is like kind of like highbrow television
Apple TV probably has more
for people with laptop jobs.
urbanites that think that they're a bit more cultured, and so they're like
Right.
they think they think it's super off the wall to have like the scoop, the lowdown on the far right extremism that the average American's not clued in on, when in reality, this is just how every journalist views themselves. That's
I
all
love
that's
how
really
they
going
like
on here.
they don't even show what's on the screen, and if it were accurate to reality, this would be like someone who works at Right Wing Watch
Yeah.
going into like a Telegram group chat that shares like, I mean, maybe not frog
Edgy
memes
memes.
because that's like outdated now, but memes basically. And they're like
She was on Discord.
trying to put in like super obvious glowy responses to bait people into making violent statements.
And like that's I was like, what do these people think's happening on Discord?
I'm not on Discord, so I actually don't know.
I stay away as well, but there's not plotting and planning going on in Discord. It's a lot of not the Timcast Discord that's filled
I would
with
imagine a lot more complaining than conspiracy.
your average right-wing Discord is just people all convincing each other that they don't have mental illnesses.
that they do or don't.
That they don't.
Oh.
Them saying, no, this is normal. If you transition, like it's actually based. Like that's usually what kind of antics are going on in there. People telling themselves to ignore that voice in their head saying, stop, stop, stop. That's mostly what's going on in America's right-wing discords nowadays. Unfortunately for the writers of the show, there's not much, master planning happening.
You're right that just mainstream journalists really do see themselves in a protagonist like this. I mean, it's well known that mainstream publications are in bed with the CIA, and
Right.
that's been going on for decades now. But even when they're not, they think that they're freedom fighters. Even like I remember, I guess this was a couple of years ago, after the Tiffany Gomez plane meltdown.
Yeah.
This woman didn't attack anyone, wasn't charged with anything. All that happened was that she had a little bit of a melty on a plane.
She had a crash out.
They kicked her out of the plane, and then
out.
she
A little bit of a melty.
She didn't want to tell people that she was like taking, Valium and drinking. She just was embarrassed.
Right.
And they found this woman's house and took pictures of her house and published it in the Daily
Yeah.
Mail.
Oh yeah.
For
like,
what? They're insane.
And they're totally in collaboration with federal authorities, because it's like back in the day when people actually like cared about these sorts of things, is like when a right-wing anon would get doxxed or whatever, and the journalists would put out their write-up on like how they figured it out, and they'd be like, I connected this, and then I found like a letter that went here into an email address and everything. It's like, no, someone in a federal agency slipped you some information, and then now you got to like come up with some story to make yourself sound like a genius. And that would happen all the time, nonstop. And yeah, they would pretend like they were a savant when in actuality they were just getting tips from the intelligence community. That's all that was going on. And so
Reminds me of the Jeffrey Goldberg incident of him like getting accidentally added to the Telegram chat because these people are just in each other's contact lists. Like that's normal for them. But yeah, super tone deaf, super outdated, but funny nonetheless. I think there are plenty of, middle-aged lib moms out there in the country who see themselves in Jodie, and they're mostly married women, actually. Contrary to popular belief, they're not cat ladies, but they're everywhere, and they have Ukraine flags in their front yards.
Yeah, and in the DMV area, their husbands work for contractors.
And they have bumper stickers that say "Adopt, don't shop."
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.